So we'll get started here. Looks like we've got a really pretty good group. So I'm Tim Skinsky. I'm head of EAC Region 1 here in snowy New England. Not as snowy as it's going to be in Tingsboro, Mass, or up in Liberty, Maine, I guess, right, Dana?
Yes, and we're preparing right now.
So welcome. As you know, or many of you know, we run this on an annual basis. And although Region 1 hosts it, we open it up to all of EAC. And Kevin, you want to introduce yourself, and maybe we'll go around the virtual table here and do some very brief introductions.
Right. You let me know where you're from too, as we go around. This is Kevin Wynn. I'm the secretary in Region 1, and I'll keep keeping track of everything that goes on tonight so I can put something else into Region 8 newsletter. Yeah, I'm Tingsboro, Massachusetts, and like I said, the secretary here. I'm the secretary for the Nashua Coin Club, which is the best coin club in New England, and also belong to the ANA and Nina and I don't know what else, but a couple of clubs. But yeah, coins. I also started working for a coin shop locally, which is fun. And that's the reason I did it, was for the fun and nothing else. It doesn't pay that much, uh, but I really enjoy playing with the coins and talking to people as they come in the store and helping people. It's a blast, I'm telling you. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Kevin's got a new hat. He's a district rep for ANA,
Yeah,
right?
I haven't done much with that hat yet, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's
but
coming. Yeah,
it'll be starting up at the New Hampshire show in April, right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
Joe, how about if we go over to you? I'm just kind of working my way across the screen here.
It's Joe Pergola from Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Um, large cents and half cents.
And
I
as
do the
always,
website.
we're very grateful to Joe for facilitating this Zoom meeting, which he's done since its inception. Now, what are we, 4 or 5 years in, Joe?
Yeah, at least, yeah, 4 or 5 years.
So thank you very much for making this happen yet again. So,
I thought you were in Florida.
Well, I am in Florida. I'm in Tampa area now for just
Okay.
till April. Till it warms up in the Northeast.
Snowbird.
no.
Yes, snowbirds.
Yeah.
So Dan Veens, I have you next on my screen.
Yes, I'm from Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm a member of the Nashua Coin Club. That's
Welcome,
all.
Dan. Glad you could join us this evening. Going left to right, Bob Keebler is next. He's one of our speakers this evening.
So I live in St. Louis. I'm EAC secretary. Um, I guess I collect half cents still. So it just is. So we'll talk about that in a little while. So
Looking forward to that, Bob. Glad you could join us, and thank you for speaking this evening. Larry Fort, you're next on my screen. Our regular attendee through the years, Larry.
Bye,
Hey,
Larry.
hi everyone. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I'm a half cent collector. I'm a member of EAC, C4, TAMS, and I started dabbling in large cents, middle dates, and I always enjoy being here. It's a great group, and I look forward to it every year.
Thank you, Larry.
Greg, I've got you next on my screen.
Okay, so I'm Greg Fitzgibbon from Manassas, Virginia. I'm the Region 3 president, or chairman, I guess, at least for the time being. And I'm a member of EAC, been a member since probably 1980 or so. C4, and then also the Irish Numismatic Societies, where I collect the hammered Irish coins. So enough to keep me busy.
Didn't know that, Greg. Learn something every evening, right?
Yep.
Chris Arnold's next.
Hey, Christopher Arnold. This is going to be my first convention coming up because my flight was canceled. I wasn't able to get to the other one last year, so I'm really excited. I live right outside of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Yeah, we got better part of 2 feet still, really, but it's starting to warm up, and yeah, EAC C4 and a few other clubs. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm actually being pushed by my mentor, and I got myself a table. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Congratulations, Chris. We're going to look forward to
Thanks.
seeing you in
Thanks. Yeah.
Charlotte. And Jerry's
Yeah.
going to be able to answer all your questions this evening. So,
Great.
Hey, and congratulations for getting a table because the Bourse is sold out.
wow.
Yeah. Glad I got it early.
Yes.
Bob mentioned that before you got on, Jerry. So that's fantastic news. We'll continue with our introductions. Dana Philippi from Liberty, Maine.
I am at liberty to say that. I think I joined EAC in 80 or 82 1. 1593 is my number. Actually 7 is my number, but anyway, I like copper. I have large cents, half cents, 93. Well, I don't have a 93. Anyhow, hard times tokens. I have 52 Connecticut's at least, and a bunch of other New Jerseys, not to discount the Vermonts and the Fujios. But I actually worked at Chase Brass and Copper in Waterbury, Connecticut, which has nothing to do with it because Scoville actually provided planchets, which is another Waterbury brass company. So anyway, yeah. And
Well,
sad to say, I am cataloging my coppers to present either a flash drive or a Excel spreadsheet with a CVM at this next convention. So,
looking forward to seeing you again, Dana.
okay.
Jerry, you're next.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jerry Seibel. I live in Fort Mill, South Carolina. We got 10 or 11 inches the other weekend. It was very nice. Snow had paralyzed the place. I am the president in perpetuity of the Charlotte, North Carolina Coin Club. We've got 120 members, and half or 2/3 come every month. I collect large cents, half cents, and all United States coins. I'll be your host in Charlotte for the next convention, and I think I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later.
Yep, that'll be the first topic on our agenda after the introductions, Jerry.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Jack, you want to do a little intro?
I'm Jack Young. I'm in Dayton, Ohio. I collect counterfeits and dust. I have been on the dark side now, collecting counterfeits and writing articles about counterfeits since about 2015. Been an EAC member since 2002, where I focused on large cents. And I've got a running article now going on in Pennywise about authenticity challenge coins at my little corner, and continue to write articles and do research, articles for Coin Week and Coin World. And I also run a Facebook group called Fun with Fakes, and it's just more of a learning environment talking about counterfeits. And I like to focus on early copper, but we also do Morgans and whatever else is out there.
Thanks, Jack. I'll put in a plug for Fun with Fakes. Some
I
of the work
appreciate
that Jack's done with counterfeit half cents is really, really phenomenal. So
Thank
if
you.
you got questions, please, we can talk about that during the course of the evening here as well. Matt Brody, you're next.
Hey, I'm Matt Brody. I'm out of Providence, Rhode Island. I actually relocated here from Raleigh, Durham a couple of years ago, enjoying 18 inches of recent snow. And I am not yet a member of EAC. I reached out to inquire, and they said, join this call and learn more about EAC. So I'm watching and learning tonight. And I just started collecting large cents. I've got 4 in my collection. So I'm really enjoying learning about it and learning how to grade them, and feel like I'm getting hooked on large sense. So it's all good. Appreciate being here tonight.
Glad you can join us, Matt. And
Thank you.
this is education is a very big part of this group. So any questions that you have this evening, hope you enjoy the meeting, and feel free to reach out to Kevin or me or some of the other folks that are on the call.
I need a lot of education, so I'll take you up on it. Thank you.
Okay, please. Hi, Rich.
Hello. Rich Weber from Houston, Texas. It got up to 84 degrees, so we don't have much snow here today. I focus on early date large cents, although the copper across the board. At the convention, I can be found at the Boys of 94 table. So, and my background is, I believe it's the St. Louis Bourse from 2022, thanks to Bob.
Yeah, we've got some convention.
I got to look closer at that. So okay.
This evening, right? We've got both Bob and Jack here, so who put on both terrific shows in St. Louis and Dayton in the past. So Rob, you're up next.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Tim. When Dana was talking about Waterbury, it reminded me of my youth. My mother bought me a copy of Coin World and a red book when I was little, and in Waterbury you could get fantastic type coins in the old days. I'm sure they came out of great collections from the old line families that owned all the factories there. So when I was young, I collected type coins. I sold my collections when I was younger, and then in the late 1990s, I got back into it again. I always had a lot of books. I belonged to EAC since I think around 2001 or so, or 2002. And Liberty Seated, John Reich, Essay Proof Society when it was around, and Society of Paper Money Collectors. I liked reading the journals that were put out by the organizations. They're well done. I sold my collections about 12 years ago. I've been friends with Dave Bowers for about 45 years, and we got together and put a book together on $20 Liberty Gold. Our interest was to take a look at that period of time from 1849 to 1907, year by year. So much developed, particularly with copper. When you think of 1856 and 57, going from large cents and half cents to flying eagle cents and Indian cents, and the interest that developed in numismatics generally. But one of our motivating interests was that we saw the war with Mexico end in 1848, and then we just happened to find gold at exactly the time we needed it. And year by year, it was there to fund the expansion of the 1850s, everything that followed this great period of time, electric light bulb, the phonograph, everything, cars, powered flight, so it was fun doing that with Dave. So I sold most of my collections in around that time in 2014, 12 years ago. But I still have some books left. And my friend Bryce Brown has been selling some collections. He's been working a lot with periodicals and things like that. So there's a set of Pennywise, which I can discuss now or later, that I purchased from Fred Lake. It was the original set of John Ward, one of the first 76 founding members of EAC. So we wanted to make it available, as I'm older now, to pass it along to other people who would really appreciate it. So Bryce was offering it at about half the price I paid 22 years ago with Fred. And I can talk a little bit more later, or now if you wish, about the 2 or 3 sets that have been put together for the early years.
Rob, I've got it a little down on the agenda a little further, and we can put a link there too, where the auction's going on. Be glad to put that in the chat. Okay.
Sure, thank you, Tim.
Okay, but I'd appreciate if you could speak to it a little later on.
Sure, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Where are you located, Rob?
Oh, Shoreline, Connecticut, Essex.
Okay, thank you.
Real pretty river town on the Connecticut River there,
Yep.
Kevin. Yeah. Hi, Barrett. Welcome.
Hi. Hi. My name's Barrett Chapin. I live in Belmont, New Hampshire. I've been relatively new to coin collecting. I joined the National Coin Club a little over a year ago, and Kevin's recommendation, the EAC, about a year ago. And I passed the prohibition period. I guess nobody said anything about me, so now I'm a full member. And I'm contemplating going to the meeting in North Carolina coming.
Well, hope you can make it, Barrett. Jerry will twist your arm here a little tonight, I think.
You're frozen there, Barrett, but
I'm frozen.
yeah.
All right.
You
Well,
were.
then you can just move on. I'm thinking about going to the meeting, and I wanted to hear about it.
Okay, Jerry's going to give a nice overview of what's coming up at the convention. So, good. Dale, you're next on my screen.
Hi, I'm Dale Hart. I live in Fairborn, Ohio, just down the road from Jack Young. I'm fairly new to EAC. I think my member number is 7134. The things that I'm into is one is the Fujio Sense. I do have a Facebook group. It's called Fujio Scent. I think there's like 63 members right now. It's a private group. And then I collect 1793 through 1796 caps. That's my favorites.
Okay, welcome, Dale. Nice to have you coming in here from the Midwest. So glad you could join us this evening. Hi, Harry. I see you and Matt are both on, but I don't see Matt. I see you.
Did I unmute it there?
You're unmuted now.
Yeah, Matt's here. Yeah, I'm living in Massachusetts, in a house built in 1770. So I'm pretty sure the room I'm in right now probably had a lot of large sets passing through it. I don't even want to think about the 93s and 94s that probably was in this room. But I collected stamps and rocks and minerals when I was a kid, and then I had a son who I used to drag him to the stamp store, who also dabbled in coins, and he started collecting coins, and I sold my stamp collection, and I think we're 20 years now, the two of us collecting large sets. So it's been a lot of fun. And
And Matt is there on mute and invisible, Harry.
oh yeah, well, you know,
Yeah.
when you call him, he'll unmute probably. But
He
yeah.
is unmute now, but he's still not visible.
I'll jump in with my father at the same time.
Okay, please do, Matt.
I'm EAC 5494, and we collect early American errors, specializing in large cents and even more specializing in brockages.
So for those of you that don't know Harry and Matt, they are some of the premier large cent era collectors in the country. I'll put in my plug for the two of you. And they've presented at EAC Region 1 meetings in the past, as well as conventions.
Yeah.
Some
Just
really
as an
terrific.
aside, Tim, on the website, there is a collection of all of their Irish coins in the section on the website.
Thank you, Joe. I forgot it had been posted up there. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. We're probably going to have to update that a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe a new presentation, Harry?
No, I mean, we've added a few coins since then, but Matt is actually working on a catalog of the collection that I'm doing the cataloging part of it. He's doing the photos and putting them in. And he's a little slow. I'm a lot quicker than he is, so he's behind me right now. But once we get that up and done, then we're going to print some copies of it and get them out to people that are interested in seeing them. We've got a lot of information I've collected over the years, a lot of provenance of them and stuff. So kind of what like Joe did, but a little bit more and
Okay.
Great.
more information.
Looking
I
forward
could
to it,
post it
Jerry.
up if you want, Harry.
So,
Mm.
yeah.
So Tom Gerstner is next. Hi, Tom.
Yes, hi. I'm from Dedham, Massachusetts. Belong to EAC, C4, NINA, ANA, Boston Numismatic Society, and a few others. I collect early date large cents and colonials.
Glad you could join us this evening, Tom.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Stuart, who's not too far from where you are, if I recall right. Hi, Stu.
That's correct. So I'm from Boston now. In my misspent youth, I spent a number of years in Staten Island and went to Susan Wagner High School. But that was probably before Larry was born. Bit on the older side. I collect mostly half cents, and I have to be honest, lucky for me, I collected a lot of silver over the years. So what am I going to do with my silver? Same thing I do with my paper money. People used to say, do you collect paper money? I says, the only thing I use paper money for is to buy more copper. So now I'm selling off all my silver that's gone absolutely insanely crazy, and I'm trading it for copper. I'll give you full melt for all your pre-Civil War copper. I guarantee it. I'll give you full melt. I collect a lot of half cents. At one of the EAC conventions, I got in I think it was 1996 in Maryland. I got in a one of those seminars that's done with a very famous half cent collector, and he was telling us exactly how many half cents, because he's a mathematician and a professor and a school teacher, and he knows more about math. And he told me how many half cents exist, and I said, "Well, I have 2,000 of them." And he was kind of surprised. I said, I'm not the only one that has a lot of them. I'm sure there are other people that have 2,000 of them. So your conclusion that there's 200,000 half cents is nonsense. 36,000 E&A collectors, I'm sure most of them have one or two. And I believe there's a lot more of our wonderful coins out there to be found. That's all I have to say. And Greater New Bedford Coin Club, Joe Paragola does our Zoom meetings there too, and he's a great guy. Coin clubs wouldn't exist without him in some cases.
Hear, hear. I echo that too, Stuart. So we appreciate Joe's been facilitating that. I think we've gone around the virtual table. Is there anybody I missed? I don't think so. So, Jerry, we're going to turn it over to you. Tell us everything you know about the 2026 EAC convention in Charlotte, please.
Yeah, well, I've been pretty intimate with it, especially recently, filling out the boards. So I may take some things for granted and skip over, but let me just run through the schedule very quickly. People are starting to trickle in about Wednesday, and on Wednesday evening we're going to have the Boys of '94. It's kind of one of the first official events. Thursday morning, we're going to have the grading seminar, which is always very nice. We'll have
Jim Carr running that again?
Yes, Jim Carr's running that. Yes.
Okay.
And he committed to that at Pittsburgh last meeting. So we have the grading, and then people are starting to set up on the boards that day. Of course, we'll have the reception on Thursday night. And I've had several requests, so we're going to get a carving station, which should be kind of fun. And then we'll have the happenings after that. And those look like they're coming along pretty good. Friday, we'll start with the bourse will be open, and it'll be open to the public. I kind of look at the first half of the show being internal meetings and the second half of the show being a public thing. And we're getting a lot of fanfare around here. So the bourse will be nominally packed with hopefully willing buyers from around the area. And then we'll start the educational presentation. There's going to be 3 every day. And Bill Eckberg's giving one. Chuck Heck is giving one on starred reverse. Mike Packard is giving one. Craig Shawley is giving two. And Mark Borkhardt is giving a talk also. So we have 6 talks total. On Friday night, we're taking a field trip to the Old Mecklenburg Brewery. And it just happens one of their premier brands is Copper, one of their beers. Its brand name is Copper, so it's going to fit in real nice. Steve Ellsworth is going to talk a little bit about just various things. He's going to give a little talk there. We're going to flesh out some of the things because he's coming to my club show this Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Charlotte. We're having our annual club show. So Ellsworth will be there. Saturday, we're going to continue with the Bourse open to the public. Educational presentations, 3 of them on that day. And then, of course, the auction on Saturday night. Sunday morning, we're going to have our annual meeting, which is always a lot of fun. And the Bourse is going to kind of be open. I'm getting a little bit mixed comments on this, but it sounds like from about 9 to 12, it's going to be sparsely or halfly populated by dealers. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take any kind of questions about it. We do have 64 dealer tables. And then I think 4 for lot viewing and 5 or 6 for exhibits. But as of yesterday, all the 64 tables were sold. And so that's full. We have a club table for EAC, a club table for C4. And yeah, that's about it. So if there's any questions, Joe's helping me with some of the stuff on the site, and he's got a couple of really nice links. If you go in to do the contract, it's a one-click. The contract comes up, you fill it out and send it to my attention. And by the way, I know at times we haven't collected from everybody right away. I wrote everybody a nice memo yesterday and today saying that I'd really like your contract and your check here so I have a strong hand when people call me asking for a table and I don't have any. I say, I'm sorry, they're all contracted and paid for. So hopefully I'll get that message out. But it looks pretty good. And then Joe also has the link on our site for the hotel. And I think that was dysfunctional for a little while. I got it working again, but we have a good rate there. We have $152 room rate, and that's good till April 1st. So I hope everybody who's coming has made their reservations, or we'll do it in the next month or so.
Gary, who's doing the agenda for you and the course plot plan?
Pardon me?
Who's doing the agenda? Is Bill Eckberg doing the agenda?
Bill is doing the brochure, and I've already given him some stuff. I've given him an agenda, and I could send you a copy of the agenda too to post online. I have to fill in some of the exhibit detail, and I have to put a couple more titles of presentations, but I have it pretty much laid out and what rooms they're in. And of course, we have a room diagram. I also have of course, a Bourse diagram. I've got a block diagram, and then I also have one that's kind of chopped up a little bit in Excel, but it's got everybody put in there in the little spaces they belong.
So whatever you want to send me, we could always update it. I could put preliminary on it if you like. And then as far as the signage, when I get back to Philadelphia, I'll do all the signage for you in a couple of days.
Yes. I know I have to work with you on signage, and there was one other thing too. Getting some kind of a kit, a show kit.
Show kit? Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a couple at home. I actually have one with me just for everyone. If you're doing a local show, I designed a really nice tablecloth and a group of books that you could have for the table. And the tablecloth has a big variety of all copper, from tokens to large and small cents to interesting things. If someone comes up and they're not really copper people are oriented, you can have a nice discussion with them. I have one of those with me if anybody needs it before April. Then I have a couple at home. I'll send you down one. Or I guess I could bring it down with me on the plane if you want.
Sure. Whatever's easier for you.
Well, it doesn't
Folks
matter.
in New England know what the kit looks like very well, Joe, because it shows up in Manchester twice a year, and usually at Bay State in July as well. So I think a lot of the folks from New England on this call have actually seen it.
If you need extra supplies, I still have brochures and some of the handouts.
Yeah, we're good. Kevin and I are in good shape for right now, but I'll reach out to you as we need them.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good deal. Yes, sir.
Any questions for Jerry?
Good luck with collecting, Jerry. So it's
Thank
Jerry,
you.
I got a question. Is Mike giving a presentation on his new book then?
He's giving a presentation on that topic. He hasn't given me a title yet, but I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Is that Massachusetts Coppers?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know whether the folks here on this call are aware of that or not, but Mike Packard published this fall, or I'm sorry, last fall, a long-awaited book on Massachusetts cents and half cents. And it is available through at least Charlie Davis, because that's where I got it, and I think in Colby
And David
Fanning's
Banning,
selling it
too.
as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So excellent book. And
Oh,
if I heard a number of folks are with C4 as well. Highly recommended. So as Jerry will tell you, or you'll see in my articles, Mike is the Half Cent Happening Emeritus, a title that he absolutely disdains. But he's gotten used to it. So. And I'm looking forward to that brewery, Jerry. I saw that I've been on the website there, and it looks like they've got a lot of different really good beers. So I'm looking.
Yeah, and we have a really nice setup. We have two different rooms, and they're adjacent, they're adjoining, and we have long tables where you could sit down. We have cocktail tables where you could stand up, and then we have picnic tables outside, kind of on a patio area that's right next to a beer garden, and they're going to have music from 6 to 9, which is the timing of our event. So it's going to be very nice.
Yeah, really, really looking forward to that, Jerry. So excited about that. I'll put in my plug if people are patient with me. So hopefully you can see my screen all right.
Yes.
So I'm running the Half Cent Happening, something that I've done actually jointly with Mike Packard for a number of years now. And Mike ran it for probably about 30 years prior to that. And you'll see it is on the Thursday evening, as Jerry indicated, on April 30th. And I put 8 p.m., Jerry. Does that sound about right?
Yes. Yes, sounds good.
Right after the reception.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Half Cent enthusiasts that are in the audience here tonight, those are our 6 varieties. And we've got a pretty good mix here. As always, we've got a couple of the Liberty Head 1793 C4 and the 94 C1B, the early ones, and then a couple of Drape Bust, the 03 C3 and the 04 C2. That is the rarest one of the 6 that we've got. You can see it's a R6 minus. And then some of the later dates in 1832 C1 and the 34 C1. There's a little bit more information in the latest edition of Pennywise. Give you a little bit more of the background information. So for those of you that are in attendance, and I know there's a number of folks here that have participated in happenings in the past, looking forward to seeing your examples at the happening this year. So give Greg a little bit of a nudge. I'm counting on Greg. Any questions on the happening?
Thanks for putting that together, Tim, and running that. It's always a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. So Greg and
And
Bob have been,
you need table proctors too.
yeah, Greg and Bob have graciously done that for a number of years, and I'll be hunting them down at the convention and looking for your help again, along with a lot of other folks too. So, but the happenings are a lot of fun. And Matt, I know you're kind of listening here. You're focused more on large sense though, right? There's a large scent happening as well. And there's the colonial happening too. So people will sometimes bounce from one happening to another during the course of the Thursday evening. But we got a terrific group that works on the half cent. So, and you'll see some terrific half cents during the course of the evening. Jerry, any other topics regarding the convention? Anything else you want to add?
I can't think of anything right now, but I'll field any kind of questions you have.
Jerry, do we know all the seminars that are going to be taking place, the 3 per day talks?
Yeah, Bill Eckberg is he's kicking off Friday, and he didn't give me a title yet, and I don't know if I recall the topic. And then Mark Borkhardt, what's that?
It's okay. Just as long we'll be able to see them soon on the website.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm going back and forth with Eckberg right now, and I'm trying to get everything fleshed out, and I've got to just get a couple more titles there, and then a little bit more on some of the exhibits, and I'll be able to put out pretty much a finalized schedule. I have the schedule out with all the times, all the events, all the rooms and locations of everything. So it's about done, but I got to just flesh out a few titles.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Jerry.
Welcome.
For people flying in, Jerry, is there a shuttle bus over to the hotel from the airport?
I believe so. It's only a couple miles.
It's not far. Yeah.
No, it's not far. It's not far. Yeah, and then on our Friday night get together, I've got a couple, I don't know, they're 56 passenger buses or whatever. I'm going to have the first couple show up about 20 after 5 or 5:30, start shuttling people over and get everybody over there by 6 or 6:15. I think I'm going to have Ellsworth talk about 6:30, and then starting about 8:30 to 9 o'clock somewhere, or maybe 8 to 9, I'm going to have those transportation back. So nobody will have to drive anywhere or Uber unless they want to stay there longer.
I have a question for you, Jerry. Do you own a snow shovel?
Yes, I do. And I was the hit in my neighborhood the other day. I shoveled snow for a couple of old ladies.
You're
They
one
said,
of the
wow,
first.
I was the man like that. It's like one time my mother was living in a elderly folks home, and she said her new boyfriend could drive at night. Wow. A real plus. So
I have a couple friends in your area, and I was back and forth, and I asked them, "Do you even own a show shovel?" They said, "No, you're nuts. We never have one."
when I moved down from Wisconsin, I had to pick out my one of my 3. I had to pick out my favorite one of 3 because you've got a collection of snow shovels up north. For you get some of your kids to help you shovel, but so I just have one down here. But it was quite the anomaly.
That's funny.
Yep. For those going to the convention, the Thursday morning, the grading and counterfeit seminar, I would highly recommend it for anybody that hasn't gone or hasn't gone in a while. And also, I was planning to bring a real special coin for the group to grade and look at. And Harry and Matt might find it quite interesting.
Hey, Rich, I get a kick that you said grading and counterfeit seminar, because I thought last year when I went to it was a grading seminar, and then you find out about halfway through, oh, a couple of coins, oh no, they're not real.
Exactly.
You have to kind of figure that out going along.
Yep.
Yeah, I have often contributed a few of those, and that's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
I may even contribute a couple more this year.
Yeah. And Mark Borkhardt's helping Jim Carr also, I believe.
Whenever I visit Jack's table, after I leave it, I say prayers.
Exactly. And it's gotten worse.
For the happening a couple of years, we ran a grading and counterfeit table, and Jack had some contributions for us that I will say fooled some people that are highly knowledgeable.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I probably have the largest collection of counterfeit early copper in genuine TPG holders, and it continues to grow. And some of that, you know, the 1805 and the 1806 half cents were some of the ones I had at that convention. And, you know, they were convincing enough to get past the TPGs, and they were convincing enough to get past some of our folks as well.
I purchased recently a Whitman album of half cents from 1793 to 1857, made in China. A complete set. Some of them are good fakes, some of them are bad fakes, but some poor soul could buy these and think they've got a coin collection. It's horrific.
Well, the 1806 E1s that I have, I've now owned 10. And I wrote articles on them. I've done it in EAC Pennywise. I've shown all the attribution points. I've shown all the TPGs. And two of them just slipped by in June. One in a like a boutique NGC holder, and the other Annex. And in fact, I know I have a friend that passed the Annex one. So they're still out there, and they're still showing up, and they're still fooling people, even since 2015.
I think we have some other guests coming in here from the Midwest. David and Carol, is that who I think it is?
Consolo? Yeah.
Yes. They are on mute, but they seem to be there. So, any other questions for Jerry on the convention? If not, I'd like to turn it over to Bob Keebler, who's going to talk about one of the highlights of the convention, the EAC auction, and Bob has consigned his half-cent collection to the auction. And Bob, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay.
And I will do the share as I promised.
Yes, I'll let you know. So that's fine. So
okay.
Tim asked me to if I want to present, and since I decided to consign my collection, to perhaps show pick a few of my favorites in that point. Just a couple of words about the auction for anyone who's not aware or other one. The EAC auction is tremendously important to our club. It's by far the largest source of annual revenue for EAC over the last several years. And this past year, the EAC, well, I don't have the exact number, I know from being on the board, is in the ballpark of $100,000 that it raised in that point. That more than pays for the convention and other kind of things. And so it's very important. It's increased its contributions partly through early sense auctions contract, partly because of internet access. So now you can bid live on time, which definitely helps the participation. Their catalogs get better and better in terms of highlighting the historical aspects of the coins, which for most of us is important. And it actually turned into be a little bit of a recruiting tool. iCollector, their hosting site, it posts nationally, but you have to be an EAC member to bid. So for the past couple of years, Grady gets an influx of people in the few weeks before because they see the coins, but they can't bid on them unless they're a member in that point. So we actually pick up some members and hopefully some of them stay. My collection, I started collecting half cents in 1971 when I was 13 years old. Long story, won't go to that, but and I've been collecting half cents ever since, with, to some sense, the obligatory cut down on college kids otherwise for a while. But I've been working on it, and that's basically been my collecting interest since 1971. My collection was formed by variety. I basically strove to just collect one of each, and if I upgraded, I traded off or sold off the other one. And over time, I focused on condition, pedigree, as the two big portions. Making a collection's nice because you know stories about the coins. You come to like your coins and that kind of point. So that's what I do. Tim asked to say, what do you want to do? And he said, pick 5 or 6 coins that you, either your favorites, you have stories about. I picked those coins before Chris put out the ad for the sale coming up. And Tim had asked me, he didn't ask me what coins I wanted on the ad. They picked coins, that's fine. But I found it interesting that they picked coins they thought were good. Of the 6 we're going to see, only 2 of them are on that ad there. So they're different. So we'll just move ahead to 6 and run through them with a little bit of history and story. And
let me know when you want a page, Bob.
I will in just a second. So the first
Okay.
one I'm going to do is, you can flip to just the next one down, Tim. Number 3. So that's the first coin. That's 1793 C1. This may very well be my favorite coin of all of the ones I have in this point. The C1 was the first half cent variety made, and the half cents were the second United States coin made in 1793, other than behind the large cents. Data are good, but for this variety, there were roughly 8,000 minted. So that's one of the first 8,000 coins. And survival can be debatable, but there's a few hundred thought to be in existence. And there's probably only a couple that are circulated, worn, but left in that condition in that point. So, okay. Tonight's reasonably very good. The obverse is much better than the reverse. It's just not as worn, but it's just from my end, a beautiful coin of the first half cent variety that was made in United States history many, many years ago. That was a luck purchase. It went to a coin show in St. Louis. Doug Bird was there. He told me without any reason not to do it. The man he bought it for was a longtime EAC member who lived in Indiana, and he said he bought it 2 hours before I showed up, and that was my first 1793. You can go to the next.
The C1 variety on the reverse, the center is usually not well struck anyway. But so yours is a little bit, soft there, like that's kind of what you expect off of a C1.
Correct.
But you can see the periphery lettering, and very clean.
Yep.
Nice color to it.
Yep.
For the grade, that's a beautiful coin, Bob.
So you can go to the next one, then 5, Tim.
Sure.
So the next one I picked is the 1797 C1. I just like the coin. It's well circulated, but it's extremely clean. The C1 is a really neat variety. It has a die-state break progression that puts some amazing breaks across the coin, and many people collect by those. Does not have those in that kind of point. And it also is overstruck. Almost all, if not all, the 1797s are struck over TAL tokens, and many of them have undertype that you can see. And you go down the next one, and you can see down by the RICA, you can see the undertype. So it just makes it a really neat variety for my end in that kind of point. And not excessively rare, but just a coin I enjoyed in that point. You can go down to 8, I guess.
Okay, so that's the reverse, and then
Yep.
and then Bob blew it up so you could see the undertype of the tau token. I hope people can see it where I'm moving the cursor.
The next one is a coin of a different type. It's a 1808 C3, not the rare 1808 variety, the overdates in that point. This coin has a nice pedigree, like I tried to do a lot, from Bill Weber, and came from Bob Yule's collection, who went by the Whister for setting up whist matches for many years at the convention, and was privileged to be at several of those where you got to see large chunks of collections from people willing to compete against someone without. This to me is just a beautiful struck, clean point coin in that point. And again, one of the very favorites of mine in the collection in that point. That was one of the two that Bob and Chris put on the ad there in that point. So it's you can go down
Extremely
to
well struck, Bob.
Yep. I agree. So and so that's the reverse. You can go to the next one in that point. This one I shown at an exhibit at the convention, and it's an entirely different purchase of reason in that point. This is an 1804 C4, which for varying reasons is actually, it's a coin that doesn't have great condition itself, but the condition census does not go very high. But I bought this coin mainly because of entirely because of the pedigree that's up above in that kind of point. And, starting with the Gilbert plate coin and going through a who's who of major half-cent collectors. The reason being is because there weren't very many of them originally, and they bought and traded with each other because they wanted to get the variety, and one at the time, one of the nicer varieties in that point. If you go down to the list there, the one below that, Tim. So
Sure.
Yep. So I put this together because that also shows what happens to copper sometimes. In 1954, it was an R7 minus, which was thought to be about 10 known, and that's why it traded from person to person. And over the years, these are varying references in half cents, and we can watch how over the last 50 years, when Roger Cohen published his book and people began to understand more about it, to how it's gone down. And then probably the last 10 or 15 years is probably another 20 or 30 found by Ed Furman in that kind of point. So now there's roughly 80 known. So the coin, which was probably in the top, well, it was in the top 10 because it was one of the top 10 at one point. Now isn't anywhere near that. So it was more just a curiosity. And when I bought the coin from Don Partridge's auction and that kind of point, after I saw the list there, I said, once I bought it, I said, look at that list of people. What is my name doing on the end of it? But anyway, there it was. So I just liked it because it was a fun pedigree kind of one. And I spent a lot of time working with pedigrees in that point.
I didn't realize it was a plate coin in Gilbert.
Yep.
That's pretty interesting.
It's a pretty amazing coin just because that's what it was. There was, it was one of the 10 or so known for a while in that point, and in that way. So we got two more. You can go down to the next
Sure.
one.
Yeah, I just wanted folks to
to see that.
get a chance to see the
Mhm.
reverse as well. This
Yeah.
will be in the EAC catalog coming up here in short order.
So this is again the opposite end. This is a 1804 C8 spike chin. It doesn't show the spike chin great here on the picture in that kind of sense, but again, this is a top level C8 again from a long time collections and went through some big name collections. But for me, the thing that was most interesting with this was one of the 11 coins that changed hands between Roger Cohen and Bill Weber in 1988 when Cohen got the 1794 C5 and C6 Bs from Weber to complete his variety collection at that point. And they traded some pretty major coins and cash back and forth. And this was one of the coins. And this is a big event in copper and with my research on a Roger Cohen. Plus, it's a really nice 1804 C8 in that kind of way. I, put that one in my collection as my C8. So it's, and that's the other one that Chris and Bob Grumman put on the ad in that point.
So that was one of the trades for the 94B sisters?
Correct.
Okay.
So,
was both the 5B and the 6B in that
in the
deal?
trade. In the trade, yep. So
Really?
Tim,
Wow.
I'll send you a link on an article in that sense. But yes, there was
Okay.
if I probably have it backwards, but Weber sent 5 coins to Cohen and Cohen sent 8 coins to Weber, and many of the coins were like his top coins and varieties. So it was a big wheel, and they both moaned and bitched for years that they both got taken in the sale, which usually means they were both probably pretty happy with the way the trade went out and that kind of point. So it's
Okay.
and then Bill Weber sold it in his collection when he did his, and then
Now,
became
correct me if I'm wrong. The 6B is still unique, right?
correct.
Okay. And there's only 3 of the 5Bs?
That to my recollection, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then the last one is a 1811. Again, it's just a coin I really like. It's 1811 C1, which is the rare of the 1811 two varieties. There's not a ton of them. There's estimated 150, 200 of them. They're a date, so people collect them. So they've got reasonable rarity, but they usually most of them come dark, scudsy, and kind of messed up. So finding even a reasonable mid-grade one is not easy to do. And it's just one I came across in 2005 and liked, and it's been in my collection since in that way.
Yeah, no porosity there at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So when the sale comes, there's, to do math, 93 other half cents to go. They're all one in one variety, except the only dice date I did was an 1808 C7 overdate. I have several of those, and a couple overstrikes and 6 colonials. So it was a hard decision to sell them. I went with EAC because the profit from the sale will go to the club, which has meant a lot to me. So that's what we're doing. And it'll be an interesting experience not having ever done this before, but we'll see how it goes. Okay.
Nah.
We're looking forward to the sale, Bob. I can only imagine how difficult it is for you to be parting with some of those coins.
Yeah, I told you, I said when Chris came to the house and picked them up, and when he drove down the street and went away, there was a little tear going down the cheek there in that kind of sense. I said, there go the babies in that kind of sense, but it's just in that kind of way. After the half cents is Terry Denman's, middle date, part 2 collection in that point. And, as nice as some of mine's are, Terry's are all top notch. So hopefully for the club, it will be a really nice sale. And then Chris will certainly have other consignments of other people in the sale in that way. So the catalog will come when it comes. He told me he sent me a preview of it, and he hasn't sent it to me yet. So it's probably not done, which he's still got time, or it may just show up on iCollector one day and say it's up. So
Well, did you say you had 93 varieties?
no, I have 89 varieties.
89 out of the 99?
Correct.
Okay.
So in all honesty, a couple of people asked, why are you selling it? I'm selling it because the varieties I needed and the upgrades I needed and the condition I needed are, and I'm working on retiring this summer. The disposable income that I used to buy the coins for the collection is just not going to be there. And I just don't think I can upgrade or do what I want to do with what I have available. And so I'm going to sell it, and then I can start buying.
Are there any 1796s in that collection?
There are not, so in that kind of way.
And is there a 1808/7 C1?
Yeah, I would wish. So, the 10 I'm missing, Stuart, are the,
Same 10 I'm missing.
yeah, are 10 of the big ones. The four later B girls, the 296s, the gripped edge, the 02 C1, the 08 7 C1, and the 31. And they're all nice coins. They're just at the financial point that I can't, it's going to take me 3 or 4 years to save up stuff to buy one, but the funds are going to be there. And when I sell it, hopefully there'll be enough that I can start. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do in half cents, but I'll do some other stuff in that way.
From one half-cent guy to another, that's quite a collection. And I agree with you. The coins that we're both missing are the coins that are unaffordable. So what I did, because I couldn't go after the Bs, I couldn't go after the 96s. What I did is I started to collect the 1804 C6. I made a clock wheel out of them, all the different, the cud that goes around the back. So I collected 20 different cuds for that, but
there's a lot. And what I did for years was upgrade. And, and I just did that. But even though now I'm at the point where upgrading some of the other ones, it's okay. It's just where life has gone, and it wasn't in the plan 9 months ago. But when I started doing my right financial perspective, it was like, okay, there's only so much, and it's not going to be there.
Quite a collection. It's a lifetime collection.
Yep. And that's the fun part. And
proud.
I have a table like Chris has there at the thing, and I don't ever sell stuff at table. I just get a table so I can park my can on the chair and talk to people when they come by. And so I have all sorts of ways to tell stories, because I can tell one about every coin, because that's what you do when you have them, for some of them for 30 or 40 years. So that's enough. So that's in that point, and after we're all done, I'd be happy to talk any coin with any person, so it's fine.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay.
In my opinion, that's going to be a real highlight of the convention.
Yeah, no, you are a little half-cent biased, Tim. Okay, so it's okay.
You're a lot
half-cent biased. Admittedly so.
Yeah.
I was just going to make a comment. I can certainly appreciate where he's coming from. I got focused on 1794 large cents, and there's 58 collectible, and I got to 54. And so I had some of the really heavy hitters, and really the same thing. I had some life choices to make in case going to college and whatnot, and decided to start with that collection, and I sold it, and I came out okay. But at that point in time, I really didn't know what I was going to focus on, or if I was going to collect, or if I was going to actually stay in EAC. And, I talked to some guys, and Al Buckle was one of them, and said, just change your focus, just look for something else. And at that time, the first counterfeit early large cent came out, the S158, and it kind of pulled me down the rabbit hole. And I did, I refocused, and I started working on the counterfeit coins. But I also started a date set of large cents countermarked. And, that's a lot of fun. And you can find a lot of those. And, of course, they're considered damaged coins, so you can get some pretty heavy hitters for a little less money. But it's just become a lot of fun, and just kind of my driving force, going forth. So, continue to be in EAC and enjoy EAC, writing articles, and still collecting as I can. So certainly appreciate that. There was a tear in my eye when, the Star Reverse was sold, and a couple of the other ones that I had, but that was all fun. It was fun getting there.
Yeah.
It's fun going forward. So, you find another chapter to turn, I suppose, going forward. And that's what I did.
Yeah. I may take the funds and buy 1796. We'll see. So in that sense, then I can say I have one. So I'll complete my variety set with 89 one way and several others on a second one. Who knows? So it's
I would like to say kudos to Bob for selling through the EAC auction, because when you have a lifetime collection like that, you have options. You could sell to Heritage, Stacks, whatever. For Bob to sell through the EAC, all the buyer's premium goes to the club. So Bob obviously the club meant a lot to Bob over the years, and he's given back to the club by selling his collection through the auction.
Yeah, I think in all honesty, was part of it. You want the people who have the most option to do it to be EAC members, and the things that don't go well enough, the dealers will scoop up and they'll get it. And so, it's hard to know financially whether it's might have done long term, but that wasn't the point. The point was to unlock the funds that were there that you didn't have use to because they're sitting in my case. And that was a choice, and it was because EAC meant stuff, and Chris will prepare a good catalog so the pedigrees will stay there, and I'd spent a long time working on those, and so it's important that they don't scrub out of the catalog. So they better not scrub out of the catalog. So it's
You're going to get some strong bidding on that collection.
I hope so.
There's going to be a lot of half-cent collectors that are going to be chasing those coins.
Yeah.
I guarantee it because I know I'm going to be there. There's a couple upgrades for me in that collection.
Good. If anyone is really interested, I can send you pictures of my entire collection before the catalog comes out, but just send me an email and I'll be happy to do that too. So some of them aren't as good as Lyle's pictures are going to be, but there's many of them just come from the auction catalog. So
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
I'm going to have to run. I worked late and we haven't even eaten yet. So
okay.
I hadn't planned to join this, and I'm really glad I did. So it's been a lot.
Jack, you're very welcome and delighted to have you with us here a little bit. And before you go, and it's important for certainly the newer members, if you're concerned about counterfeit coins, Jack Young is the man really to talk to. All right. He is really, in my opinion, the premier expert in the US for early copper, for detecting counterfeits. He has a lot of great educational sites. He mentioned one with Fun with Fakes and others. He's published extensively. And I would really urge, I see a bunch of people nodding, particularly the newer members. If you've got questions on things like this, I'll be glad to put you in touch with Jack. And Jack, I'm really delighted that you were able to join us for an hour this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thanks, everybody. And again, I'll answer any questions. Tim can get you to me. I'm an open book. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks,
Good night.
Jack.
Good Jack.
Here.
Good night.
So Tim,
Yes.
this is Dana. I also must move along. I'm not quite as crazy as some of you folks, but I had other interests like 400 pocket knives and 200 yardsticks. I have an acquisition disorder. I have to bid you all adieu.
We all do, Dana.
Have a good evening, Dana.
Happy
We'll
trails.
be in Manchester in April, early April, if you and your lovely wife are journeying south again like you did in the fall.
You are going?
Yeah, we will be there. We'll be running a meeting. I'll mention that a little later on, just so you know. Kevin we'll send out an announcement on it.
Next meeting will be Friday, April 3rd at 1:30 in Manchester.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got the room confirmed with Ernie today.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Hope
Take care.
to see you
I'm
then.
going to go enjoy the snow.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, get your shovel out.
Oh, no, I have a snow thrower.
Dana, if you have any more large cents for me to attribute for you, bring them with you.
Well, I really thank you for that, Kevin.
Okay.
I have O2s up the wazoos.
I might even need a couple.
Take
Then
care.
it's,
Take care.
about
Good.
being collecting fanatics. It's a funny story. I did business with a guy in Florida, and somehow Q. David Bauer's name came up. He says, "Oh, I know him. He wrote the book on mechanical instruments." I said, "Mechanical instruments?"
Yep.
And sure enough, I collect Victrolas and organs and things that my wife
really?
hates. And and David Bowers wrote a pretty comprehensive book on pianos and organs and music boxes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Amazing.
Well, before it gets much later, if I may, Rob, can I impose on you to talk a little bit about the Pennywise collection it's going off tomorrow, correct? You're on mute, Rob, or we can't hear you. I can hear you talk. I can see you talking, but
It's your microphone. You're not on mute on the system.
no, it is the microphone.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Trying a different mic.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bryce Brown is in the adjoining town to me, and Wayne Holmgren announced it last month, and then again a week and a half ago, that he's selling a lot of the books and collections that Dick Johnson had. And Dick was born in 1930, died in 2020, he was 90 years old. And Dick was the first editor of Coin World in 1960. He had a lot of resources. So I asked Bryce if he would like to include the set of Pennywise that I have. And he has it listed on eBay. It's listed under Pennywise Journal 1967 to 2003. It's 37 volumes bound. And they were bound by John Ward, who was the first. Oh, yeah. Thanks for putting it up.
You're welcome. And the link to this lot is in the chat, Rob.
What's that?
I've put the link to the
Yes,
URL
I see it
link
up on the screen. Thank
on
you.
eBay. It's within the chat if anybody wants to pull it up on their own screen.
Yes. Oh. So anyhow, John Ward had it. He was one of the first 76 members of EAC, and Pennywise in the early days, I'm sure as you know, was just distributed as separate sheets of paper. So there are very few of these sets that have been bound. This set covers an interesting span because the first 30 years from 1967 to 1997 was really formative group of years for EAC. And then 1998 to 2003 was when there were things like the Asylum that started in 1998. Google started in 1998. Use of the internet started. So when you see these volumes, you can hold them in hand and you really see a lot of the early transition, formative work that was done through EAC. They're nice volumes because John Ward was very fussy. He had them custom stitched. They're in library type bindings, buckram covers, really sturdy. The first 8 volumes take up about 14 inches, first 8 of them. The next 5 take up about another 14 inches. And then the final 5 of the 18 volumes, another 14 inches. So it's about 3.5 feet of shelf space. Early EAC convention catalogs are bound in. John was very fussy when he put these together. His wife told me that he would take them to the binders himself. He lived in Texas. And Fred Lake persuaded me to bid on it. It was very actively bid back in 2004 after John died and sold for about $3,800. We're offering it for less than half the price to starting bid at $1,800. Dave Fanning has had a couple of sets over the years. One was custom bound in leather, and that sold for $10,000. I don't know if it had quite as many volumes as this. And then it resold, I think last year, for about $6,600. Then he had another smaller set, I think sold for $2,000 or $3,000. So we'd like to entrust this to someone who's a really serious copper collector who would like to take some sets like this and really enjoy it, enjoy the reading that's material that's in it, and have fun with it and pass it on. I'm not collecting anymore. And the picture you have up now, there's great pictures like with Walter Breen and John Wright and Bob Grellman as they did their early work, early dates, middle dates, late dates. So a lot of interesting pictures, catalogs, and this, when you see the evolution of EAC and the hobby through those early years. It's interesting to read.
I'm just paging through the various pictures here, Rob, but
Yeah, thank you for doing that, Tim. Oh,
you're
also,
welcome.
my name on the screen, first letter is a G like in George. I see there's a J that's up. For Galliet.
And if you want to bring up the lot itself, I put the URL link in the chat, and if you click on it, it would bring up what I was just showing. Thank you, Rob.
Appreciate it. It's a pleasure joining you tonight. And
well, thank you, and thank you for one, joining us, and two, giving us some background and making the group here aware of it.
Well, it's clear there's been so much knowledge shared through EAC. I can see that just in the conversations this evening. So it's a pleasure to be here to hear all this interest and copper continuing year by year. It's a great organization. Really one of the first clubs to specialize in a collecting area the way it did, you know, followed by Seated Liberty and Fly-In Club, you know, John Wright, the others.
Yeah, and that's why we go to the conventions too, right, Rob?
Yeah,
the educational presentations are,
yes,
are all really top notch. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
I
Rob.
just had one additional agenda topic and put in a plug. As we'd mentioned previously, as Dana was departing, we will be at the New Hampshire Coin and Currency Expo, April 2nd through the 4th. We will be having a meeting for those that will be at the show itself at 1:30 on Friday afternoon, April the 3rd. We'll be out in the is it the Weber room, Kevin, or do you remember what the name of it is? I'm looking at Rich as I'm saying that. So there's a conference room, I think, named after you, Rich, there in New Hampshire. But we usually break out from the Bourse and have folks join, and we'll have a short meeting, and we'll probably at that point you know, have the Pennywise and the auction and so forth, and probably be a preparation session for the convention. So those of you that are going to be in the Manchester area during that time, we hope that Kevin and I hope that you'll join us for the meeting.
Right. Yeah. There's 2 or 3 rooms, but they're right next to each other. So we'll be in one of them. We don't know which one.
Yeah. And there will be a brief announcement there. I'm sure John Frost will get up and make an announcement, but we'll put out a little bit more information on it as the show date gets closer.
And if you're even if you don't go to the meeting, if you're at the show, please stop by the table and say hi to me and Tim, and we'll be there. I'll be there representing 3 or 4 different clubs. So, like Tim said, I'm a A&A district representative now, so I'll be doing a little of that. The Nashua Coin Club's always a main focus for me, but Ernie manages to put us next to each other, so I can run back and forth between tables if I have to. So,
and you often do, right, Kevin?
yeah. I asked him for another table for the A&A, and I haven't heard back from him yet, but we'll see what happens. I'll be there with my A&A material anyway, but we might have to split the table in 2.
Yep, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
Good.
Has anybody
Any other
heard,
topics that anybody had this evening?
Has anybody heard ANS is moving to Toledo, Ohio?
Yeah, I heard
We
that.
saw the announcement
Yeah.
on it, Joe.
Yeah, sort of clandestine.
Did any of you copper collectors manage to get your hands on any of those Omega cents that went through Heritage? The last of the Lincolns? $17,000 a set or something like that.
God.
Was crazy. I don't believe it, but they all got sold. A lot of money.
I have a couple of 70 Canadian cents from 2011 that are pretty nice, but these are out of sight for price.
I guess you can't, if you don't have a complete collection of Lincolns if you don't have those three, but I don't know. I won't get them. Stuart, it's nice seeing you again. I hope we see you up in Manchester.
I loved coming there to see you guys. I had a run of bad luck. Wife got cancer, although
Yeah.
she's recovered. She struggled, and then I got injured. Busy taking care of my wife, and I didn't take care of myself, and
Oh,
I stepped on a seashell, and they wanted to cut my leg off. I got infected.
oh,
So it took 3 months of sitting at home on the couch, and then 3 months of in a boot, and 3 months taking Ubers. I couldn't even drive.
no.
The reason I never made it up to Manchester is I wasn't allowed to drive for almost a year. But I thankfully recovered, and I'm healthy now. It's just trying to catch up on all the things I didn't do for the last 2 years.
Right, yeah.
So I'd love to get up there. You know, I love bringing up books a half cents to show.
Yes, and you know we always love, and you know I always like looking at them, Stuart. So
Did you ever see books like that of half cents by the year? Unlike Bob Keebler, who specialized in nice coins, some people are quality and some people are quantity. I'd have I had my own kind of what we call it, educational sets, like 2018-11s. You know, you have to reunite the little sisters. 2018-11 C1s, 2018-11 C2s, 24-star cuds, 22-star cuds. No, I never got 22-star cuds because there's only six of those.
do you want to tell them the story of the 1804 C6s, or shall I?
You could tell them what I brought.
So, and I'll bet you it's on the website too, right, Joe, from the virtual half cent happening we did in 2020.
Yeah, that's all on there.
Yep. Stuart entered 20 different 1804 C6s, which had every different die state, pretty
Wow.
much. Okay. So
From
they're
Manly
all
one-
out there.
From Manly 1 through
Oh,
Manly
yeah.
12. And Manly 9.5, 6.7. I mean, we were making up numbers because it was just a little, the cud went a little further, and it wasn't quite, because I couldn't, as Bob said, once you get to 80 half cents, going from 80 to 90 is a stretch. And going from 90 to 99, you really have to be a zillionaire.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and even if you have the money, sometimes you can't justify it because there are certain coins that I could have bought. But if somebody tells me that that coin is a fine, and I'm looking at it, it's clearly at least a good, okay? I'm not going to overpay for it. I mean, if you told me it's a good, but you want $16,000 for it, tell me the truth. I cannot buy a lie. Okay, so when you're telling me that's a fine, please don't lie. Because then when I go to sell it, what am I going to do? No. You know, yes, we're not doing this for investment. We're doing it for fun. And a little bit like Larry, I'm probably 2 years older than Larry. I started collecting at the Richmond Town Restoration, had a flea market. When I was 10 years old, I would go to the flea market in the parking lot, and I would buy Indian cents for 50 cents a piece. I'd buy buffalo nickels for a quarter, and occasionally I'd find a half cent for $2. So I guess if I paid $2 for a half cent, I'm probably going to come out okay. But Larry, you ever go to the Richmond Town Restoration flea market?
No, I haven't. I didn't live on Staten Island my whole life. I've only been here since '99.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I was a Brooklyn boy.
I was born in Brooklyn too. We moved there after the Verrazano opened. It opened in '64, so about '68 we moved to Staten Island because the Verrazano made Staten Island actually part of New York.
Sure.
Before that, it was really part of New Jersey because we had the three bridges to Jersey, the Outer Bridge, the Bayonne Bridge, and the Goethals Bridge. So Staten Island was part of New Jersey. Hey, how many Sopranos do you see on Staten Island? Staten Island's a great place to grow up. They would drop us off in Tottenville and they'd tell us to run back to Susan Wagner. That's how they trained the track team. They drop us off in St. George. They'd bus us to St. George and say, see you back at the school in an hour.
Well, if you can't make it to Manchester, Stuart, maybe we'll see you in July at Marlborough at the Bay State Coin Show.
I'm really better now. It's just a matter of catching up on life. I fell so far behind on things. You know, just sickening to be behind with everybody on everything in life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I've seen Christopher Arnold a couple of times at a couple of shows because I finally got down to the New Bedford Coin Show. But I missed 2 years. I literally missed 2 years. And my
Well, it's good to see you.
my coins sat idle in the safe deposit box. They don't come out and play as frequently anymore. But I literally have 2,000 half cents.
Wow.
Some people have an IRA. I have a half cent 401k.
So Stuart's been good enough to bring him to some of the shows and show us too.
Just
And,
a few.
and we don't really pay attention to anybody coming to the table those days, really, do we, Kevin?
Just a few I brought. I never
Yeah.
brought, I don't have a bag big enough to bring all of them. And when I bring them, I have to bring like an Uzi or something with me. There's a lot of half cents. It's a
Well,
lot
it's
of,
always a treat when you bring him and share him with us. So
and Kevin has been very kind because I cannot attribute large cents. I can attribute half cents. I cannot attribute large cents. Kevin's been very kind to me. He's looked at some of my large cents and he'll write down what it is on the envelope for me.
Good.
Someday when I retire, I'm gonna try and learn about large cents. I guess that'll be my next goal in life. Try and learn to attribute large cents. But those are so much tougher than half cents.
It's a big goal, Stuart.
They're really tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Kevin's been a really good guy. Tim's really good. People I've met are all nice. Hopefully I'll get to meet the gentleman that was here a few minutes ago that was from Dedham because he's close by. I met the Channels because they're from close by to Boston. I've met them at different coin shows occasionally. Don't know them very well, but it's nice to have local collectors. There's a really a special fun thing about having, in person. So I like Zoom. Thank you very much for doing it, but in person has a special quality.
Yeah. No, we agree, Stuart. And that's one of the things Kevin emphasized. Even if you can't get to the meeting, please make sure you stop by the table because it's really terrific to see everybody.
Yeah.
When we're in Manchester or we're out, and I think we're going to be in Marlborough again in July. I've got to reach out to Ed Oleo on that, Kevin.
Right. We
Make
missed
sure we've
last
got a
year.
table
So, yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Just one other thing I'm going to say, I may get to Staten Island because my mom lived in Staten Island until she recently passed. She lived by the Staten Island Mall, which before you were there, Larry, used to be an airport.
Right, I heard.
Staten Island Airport was now the Staten Island Mall. My
boy.
mother lived right by the mall, so I have to go down there and clean out her house and do all those things that a son does after
Okay. Yeah.
after she ages.
Hmm.
I don't know if I would trust bringing my half cents to New York with the new mayor, but I'm not.
Yeah, well, good luck.
He thinks they're his
Probably,
half
if I
cents.
pass through Staten Island with my coins, he'll want to tax them.
Maybe, yeah.
Hey, before we get done, I wanted to ask Jerry a question.
Yes.
Jerry, is there a waiting list
No,
for the tables?
no. Actually, what I did yesterday, the only little shenanigan I had to pull was I had one more person than I had a number of tables, and Kevin Vinton, I got him to sublease one of Chris McCauley's tables.
Oh,
So
okay.
I got them together. So I was kind of one table short, and I made up for it by getting one from Chris for Kevin Vinton.
So
But
Kevin will be there. Great.
yeah, but so nobody's on the waiting list yet, and I'm kind of braced in horror for the first person to call me and say, "What? I can't have a table," because I haven't done this before. And anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. This is my first one. I'm not bringing that much. I'm bringing 3 of my most unusual errors, just basically to show, and then a few coins to sell. But I was thinking that there would be a possibility that there would be space for me to split. So I don't know.
If you want to split a table with somebody,
yeah.
Oh, because I have one other person that was talking about splitting. Doug Durasoff. He said he would split a table with somebody. So if I come up with another one, another request for a table, maybe I could put the 2 of you together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doug's a
we
great
have each
guy.
other's email. We've been in touch by email, so we have each other's emails. Do you have a map yet of the layout?
Yeah, I do. In fact, I could. Do you want to share this? Tim, do you want to share it?
Sure. Where is it? I'll be glad to put it up.
Okay. I mean, I've got it on mine. I think in past Zoom segment, it's just that I have something that's up on my.
Oh, then
know,
at
I
the
could
bottom
just-
of the Zoom screen there, you just hit share.
Okay. Let's see.
Share
Where's it now?
screen. It'll
Yeah,
be
share
marked in
screen.
green instead of the white.
Okay, and it's this one right here.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, the entrance is over to the left, kind of like down below where I have Sean Yancey there. And then Chris McCauley's got that big green island when you come in. And then I've got, you can see on the bottom, Heritage, Klosterboer, Keebler, Packard, etc.
Look who's next to each other, Chris Arnold and Doug Durasoff. So
It's amazing because you guys were both talking about splitting a table. So I will take that under advisement. I have one extra table if I need it then. Great.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have I'm not gonna have all that much with me. This is just getting my feet wet. Hopefully I'll be ready to dive in a lot further by the time we get to Wisconsin next year. But this is gonna be a learning experience for me. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I'm definitely I think I have somebody that's gonna be helping me, which is good because more than one set of eyes on a table is good.
Yes.
Especially when the public's in there,
Okay, good.
Bruce,
Okay,
the other
I'll
nice
take this. I'll take this down if everybody's taking a look at it.
Yeah, please.
Looks like a great bourse there, Jerry.
Yeah.
Congratulations on selling it out.
Well, thank
that
you.
hasn't
Thank
happened in a bunch of years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
Jerry?
kind of fun. I hope I don't get in a pickle now.
So I saw Tony Terranova there. He used to be in a Massachusetts guy. He was a member of the Stoneham Coin Club. And I haven't seen him in years because I think he moved to Michigan or something.
No, Tony's is in Manhattan.
Tony Terranova?
Yeah, he was
That's a different guy. Okay.
yeah, Anthony Terranova. He was my older brother's best friend, and he took me under his wing, and since I'm about 12 years old. So I'm a very good friend of Anthony Terranova's.
It's a different gentleman. I'm glad I brought it up because now I'm not confused anymore.
Okay.
Jerry, you may want to keep a waiting list because from experience of the convention, we had people drop 2-3 weeks before the convention who'd already paid and done stuff, but you can't promise them you don't have, but it's okay to have names if people want one because it will not be surprising that something comes up and someone can't come at the last minute in that kind of way. So
yes. Okay. I appreciate the suggestion. Yes.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
I think I made up my mind. I'm going to go to Charlotte this year. Thank you, Jerry. Great presentations. I haven't been to an EAC convention yet for one reason or another, but it's happened in the end of April and early May, and one of my oldest granddaughter is expecting our first great grandchild right around the same time. You'd think that would stop me from going, but she happens to be in North Carolina. So maybe that might be my way to get there.
There's your ticket, Kevin.
Yeah, maybe.
Your anchor baby.
Yeah, her husband is a lieutenant in the Army, and they're near Fort Bragg, so which isn't near Charlotte, but maybe we could make a trip over there, I'm sure.
Great.
To get both things done at once. But, yes. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do my best to get to Charlotte.
Another comment for Jerry or note. The last Charlotte convention, we went to the Charlotte Mint, which is now a art gallery, and they have a display of the Charlotte Gold. Is there going to be like a day trip or anything to that mint?
What I'm doing is I've provided information. I think I already put it out on the last Pennywise, and I don't know, Joe, if it's on the site, but I have a link to that facility. I have not set up any day trips other than the one I have on Friday night. But I have other places, because another place that's not too far away is the Reed Gold Mine, which is a site of the first U.S. gold discovery. It was done in a great year for large sand collectors. It was done in 1799.
Yeah.
They discovered a big nugget of gold there, and they have tours there. That's a nice facility, and it's I think a half hour away. And there's a few other things. I mentioned a few things, and then I'll have a packet. I'll have it in a list of activities and things. I'll see if I could put anything more in the next Pennywise, and then I'll get with Joe to put some stuff online too. But there's other activities. The only one that I have organized though is the one to the Old Mecklenburg Brewery.
Excellent.
I'd like a link to that.
It is on, if you Google it, it's online. The beer selection looks really, really good. And a little bit of German food too, Jerry. Pleased to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some of their sliders, little sandwiches, and they've got signature sliders, about 4 or 5 different kinds. And hopefully I'm gonna get enough of those to keep everybody, if they absorb anything that may accidentally spill down their system.
All right, with this group, before we go, I have a question for the group, since we're all copperheads, if it were. I keep getting an ad for the Coin World magazine, and I want to know if anybody has any specific thoughts whether or not that's worth the money, because for some reason they charge more for a online subscription than they do for a physical subscription. So I was just wondering if anybody has any input of how much copper information is in there, if anybody gets it and would specifically recommend that magazine.
I get the Coin World magazine. I get the monthly. They put out a monthly magazine as opposed to the weekly newsletter, newspaper type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I get just the monthly one physically, and then I get the weekly one online. So that's a way to go. It's a little cheaper than buying the whole package in the mail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good magazine. I like some of the articles. It has prices in there and ads and some good writers and so forth. Yeah, it's not not a lot about copper necessarily, but there's, if you collect U.S. coins, it's a good magazine to have on hand. And they actually have sections on foreign coins and on paper money too.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
Sure.
Jim, I like that the thing you have up there on copper, made especially for our convention, our upcoming
Yes,
convention.
I'm amazed how you arranged that, Jerry. I was really impressed. So
Yeah, we're gonna have to try that one.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm.
Oak beer is good.
Yep, I'll be
Nice, dark, smooth.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Harry,
Jerry's gonna
you
tap the keg, right?
I'm not sure about that yet. Yeah, Joe.
Harry, if you and Matt need any digital help or layout help with the catalog, I'm happy to put some time for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I'll let Matt know. He had to leave a little while ago, but I'll let him know. He's his wife and two kids are down in Florida visiting her family, so he's manning the farm. He had to go out and feed the animals, I think, tonight. So, but yeah, it's been a project. We have some stories that he had written over the last 20 years about some of the coins and some of the conventions and different shows we've gone to, and then he's been cataloging at least the collection of rockages, and then eventually we'll get into the eras. But it's been a project because I can, to see how these people that do these catalogs, we're basically doing a catalog, but it's a not for sale catalog, just something that would show our collection to people that we're interested in.
Yeah,
catalog.
that's cool. Yeah, if you need any help with the layout or any, kind of homogenizing the look of the coins, whatever, got a lot of software. So,
yeah, I will. Thanks.
All right.
Good. Any other topics, Kevin?
I'm good. Thank you, Tim.
Okay. So, Joe, once again, thank you so much for facilitating this. Joe's been recording this, and I guess you'll upload it onto the website, the club website at some point.
Yeah, I'll put it in the Region 1 page, and I'll try to put a tag somewhere to lead people to it. It'll convert tonight. Takes a couple of hours to convert, and then I'll chop off the beginning and put an ending to it, and I'll post it up a couple days.
Okay. I've got at least one email request to see the recording, just so you know. I was just checking my inbox.
Oh, geez.
Jerry, Bob, thank you so much for joining us from afar to give us highlights. Look forward to seeing you both in Charlotte. And to those of you that are a little nearer in the New England region, we hope to see many of you in Manchester in about a month and a half or so.
I think I'd like to just add welcome to Matt Brody if he's a new soon-to-be member. I hope they process your membership quickly before you change your mind. We're a crazy bunch of people.
Hope you're going to join us, Matt. If you've got any questions, you know how to find Kevin and me. Just reach out, please.
I enjoyed it very much. And Bob, your walkthrough of your coins was really remarkable. I enjoyed that especially. Thank you for that.
That's why we collect, you
Yeah.
do that.
Well, your passion really came through, and I enjoyed it very much.
That's what, hate to say it, not hate to say it, like to say it. That's what many of us at EAC have and do. And the club is a big part of it because that's what we like. So that's good. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me, Tim. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Chris Arnold's a boss. Waving.
Matt, did you get access to the website yet?
Pardon me?
Yes.
I have not. No, I need to sign up I'm just going to go ahead and put in the membership. So I've not been on the website yet.
Let's start a trial. You can start a trial membership. That'll give you 90 days. And in the meantime, join, for June.
Yes, I will do that. And I'm going to try to get up to Manchester as well. It's not a far drive for me.
And we'll have applications up there, Matt. We'd be glad to sign you up there too.
Matt, what do you mostly collect? What's your specialty?
Well, right now I just jumped into large cents, and just to educate myself, I'm doing the major varieties, just enjoying getting to practice some grading and get a feel for things, and I'm enjoying it very much. Although hearing from our counterfeit man makes me a little nervous. I'm buying everything in a holder, but I thought that made me safe, but after tonight, I got to go back and look at each of my holders and make sure I'm buying legit. But I'm sure I am. I'm starting low and easy just to learn the lay of the land. So,
Did you collect other coins before you?
oh, since I'm 13 years old. When I was a kid, I did a complete mint proof set collection from 36 to date with my dad, and that was the start of my coin collecting career, and have been in and out for a number of years, but just never did copper, and so that's what I'm experimenting with now.
Well, we welcome you, Matt, and I think you're going about it the right way. Get the education first before you're spending a lot on the coins. So
yeah.
Yeah, and in this group, the knowledge and the education is really very foremost, really a big mission of this club. So
Well, that's the fun part too.
yes, exactly. Good. Well, then I wish you all a very nice rest of your evening here from snowy New England. And look forward to seeing many of you in Manchester in about 6 weeks or so. And certainly I strongly encourage all of you to hoist a pint there with Jerry and Charlotte at the end of April, early May. We're looking forward to it, Jerry. And Bob, we're looking forward to the auction as well. So
Okay. Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
So thank you both for joining us and speaking.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks, Joe, for setting
Thanks,
it up.
Good
everybody.
evening, everybody.
And
Good night, guys.
Yep, take care. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Take care, Tim.
Thanks, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Tim,
Yes.
I picked up a nice 1803 C2 the other day. In a PCGS XF40. I picked it up from Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that coin. It's a nice coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna be there in Charlotte?
I don't know because my youngest daughter's bridal shower is the 2nd of May.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of a conflict.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the coin.
Yeah. Well, hopefully someday I'll be able to show it to you.
Okay. Hey, you're on the edge of New England. You can come up and see us in Manchester. All right.
All right. You take care now. Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, you're very welcome. We're delighted that you're here again with us every year. I think you're our one constant with all of these Zoom meetings, Larry.
Okay, I'm going to continue to be that one constant then.
Kevin and I appreciate it.
All right. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
All right. Good night, guys.
Okay.
Good night, Bob. Good night,
Thanks.
Greg.
Okay.